Hello YouTube, back with the next My Little Pony review, and today I'm reviewing Minty. She was a character basically who had her own movie. I mean, she had her Very Minty Christmas was basically starring her. And she basically, I think, is relatable to a lot of us, because I think at one point or another, when we were kids, we did something bad and didn't really want to tell anybody for fear of what they would say as a result. Even if we had been told, 1,000 times before that was the right thing to do. We were fearful, and Minty does a very similar thing. She breaks the Here Comes Christmas candy cane, and while she wants to tell someone about it, she tries to tell Sparkleworks about it, but she doesn't really directly say it outright. She kind of skirts around the edges. And even when she meets Pinkie Pie, these are all her friends, of course. So you figure she would be a little more willing to tell them, but she doesn't outright say it, so no one actually, thinks there's a problem, per se. I mean, Pinkie Pie is at least somewhat aware, but not entirely. She doesn't think of it as a big deal. Kind of sort of brushes it off. That's only because Minty didn't actually explain it. She finds out later, of course, that it's a much bigger deal, that it cannot be, and it's so bad it can't be simply just put back together. It's in a bunch of tiny little fragments that are going to take hours and hours that they probably don't have to put it back together. And I suppose they could. They probably could do it and then just explain it in the morning. But turns out they never really needed it. But it was probably certainly an iconic moment in the movie. And of course, she gets upset. She feels bad, so and while she can't fix things like outright, she does the next best thing to actually kind of go to the North Pole and actually explain what happened. It's a long journey. She kind of puts everything aside, her balloon skills that really don't exist. The fact that she's dealing with a storm, she's got to, she went along with, Thistle Whistle kind of went along with her, but once everyone else found out, they tried to go after her, but of course she was definitely, she was already heading out, so they basically had to go after her, but that's easier said than done. You got a storm in the area. But she felt so bad for what she did. She actually went and did the noble thing and decided to give away something that she valued most, her socks. And yes, I know most of us probably don't have a thing for socks. We have a fair number of them in our drawers, but we don't like them the way she does. I mean, she goes an entire song about them. That's, I think, how much she cares for it. She obviously knows more about socks than the rest of us do. But either way, I mean, you put that aside. She was gonna do something nice for her friends, even if she couldn't. Even if they couldn't have, she wanted to make sure there was something for them to enjoy over Christmas, which was merely hours away at the time. So she's definitely a character to look out for. I mean, yeah, you gotta deal with her silliness, but then that's kind of how she is. That's how she's been since day one. She's always had, even since A Charming Birthday, she's always had certain characteristics you don't find in any of the other characters in the movies. She tends to be clumsy, but then I think at some point we all were, at one point or another. Some today may still be that way, so we maybe relate to her that way. So that's my review on G3 Minty from the My Little Pony G3 movies. Thanks for watching.